Hey guys, Ray here. Welcome to the channel. I like to explore power options when the power goes out. So today I'm installing a second 6000 XP onto my power system here that is running my main house electrical panel. I've got a large solar array in my backyard that I recently installed as well, and you can check out that video here near the top. But I currently have the lights dimming on my house when my 3-ton air conditioner goes on using this unit. So I'm curious, I could install a soft start on my air conditioner, but I'm curious to see if adding an extra unit here will fix the dimming problem. It doesn't really bother me when my lights dim, but it kind of bothers my tenants downstairs. In addition, in the summertime, this system is automatically switching over to grid a little bit too often, so adding an extra unit should prevent that. And I'm curious to see how difficult it is to install one of these units in parallel. I'm just going to be following the manual. I've never done it before, so we'll see how difficult it is. But if you want to have some fun, come along. Okay, I'll show you briefly how I installed this electrical panel system. Now, this is where you probably want to get an electrician to install this, but if you want to watch this video, and it'll give you more understanding of what the electrician would be doing when he installs this. It's really not that much time for an electrician to install this, and that's really the safer way to do it. I had my neighbor help me, who is an electrician, set this system up. I'll show you what we have here. You can always watch my other video. I'll put it linked to the top, and it'll have a slower walkthrough of this system and how it's running my current house here. But here I have load, grid. Here's my solar input, but the output of this system goes up through here and feeds into this 60 amp breaker, and this will feed my entire house. And I've got like a little interlock kit, so when this is on, it forces this to be off. So I'm not going to be back feeding into the main electrical panel here. And I've got my neutral that comes through here, and I could have a neutral connected here as well, but this neutral bar is connected to this, whether this is off and on or on. So there's always continuity between this neutral. This switch just controls L1 and L2 here. And if I have a long storm and my battery is dead and the solar isn't running my house, it'll automatically kick over to pass through grid to run. The grid will come in here, and it'll send power back here to run my house. Now the grid, I did these line taps here for my grid. These are Polaris connectors. My electrician gave me that idea to put those in. So when I have this off, I still have power out right here. And in order to shut the power off completely to work on my system here, I need to turn off my power here at my main electrical panel. It's a 100 amp double pole. So right now, this wire that hooks into the inverter, it's number 6 wire, American wire gauge. Now number 6, I believe it can support like something like 70 amps. And I've got a 50 amp breaker here, so if this pulls more than that, this should trip. However, I'm going to be connecting this wire to 2 inverters. So I'm going to upgrade this wire to number 4 wire, and that should be able to support 100 amps. And that'll also be protected by my breaker that's upstream, that's outside near my meter. So also I have my neutral connected right here. However, looking at the diagrams of some of the larger inverters that are sold, a lot of them tap into the neutral right here, and these are all connected, so it shouldn't really matter. So I'm just going to go ahead and just tap into the neutral right here instead of hooking into the neutral right here. And that's kind of a thin bus bar anyways, so it'd be nice to have this thick connection here to neutral. So I could keep this neutral in place, but then I'll have pretty much 2 neutrals from the same bus bar over into the same bus bar here. The manual states that you can just have 1 shared neutral for the grid power and also the load. Okay, we got these upgraded these grid connections upgraded to a 4-gauge wire. And those come down into these power distribution blocks. Now I had to buy these distribution blocks separately online. Their job is to distribute the power to my 2 separate inverters. So the top distribution block pretty much just has my grid connection coming in, and then the bottom distribution block has the green ground, and then L1 and L2 for the power that's going out of these inverters into my backfed breaker. So my first step is I'm going to connect the grid portion to both inverters. Now this is all number 4 wire for AWG. Now I would not go thicker than number 4 wire because it really had a hard time fitting into this bus bar here. So I need to send power into my backfed breaker. So I'm going to tie into the output load here and the output load here into this power distribution block. Okay, I have everything color coded here. All of my blacks are on L1 and all of my reds are on L2. And that matches between both of these inverters and also on my main electrical panel because that matters. Now I'll just make sure everything is grounded. Now for the load wire, I have 6-gauge wire here, and I believe 6-gauge can accept at least 70 amps, and I've got a 60 amp breaker on my electrical panel, so that wire should be protected. Okay, so now for the possibly the trickier part, I'm gonna hook up the communication because as these are outputting power, they need to communicate. So let me check out the manual and we'll follow the manual, see how clear it is. Okay, so it looks like I can connect up to 16 units in parallel. And let's see, put the pin status to on for the first and last inverter. So that's both of my inverters are the first and last. So I'll do that now. There we go. Okay, I've got these 2 cables that came with each. Looks like the first inverter must connect to the last inverter here with the parallel cable. And then the last inverter connects up to the first inverter from here to here. Okay. I've got 2 solar strings, so it said I should divide them evenly and put the more powerful one on master. I have a solar shutoff near my solar array, so I'm thankful for that, or I would have about 400 volts waiting for me at the end of these wires, so that wouldn't feel very good. The torque specifications for all these connections are in the manual. Okay, I need to verify that both systems are updated with the latest firmware. Yeah, let me hook up the battery cables and that communication cable to master right now and then check the firmware. Okay, this specific wall mount battery does not come with a battery cable that includes ring terminals. You need to add your own ring terminals because they don't really know what type of inverter you're going to connect the battery to. But I'll include the ring terminals that I used for this project and also a crimper. Make sure these ring terminals will fit your specific inverter you're connecting to. Okay, I'm just connecting the battery cables now here. I also need to connect the battery communication cable to the master inverter. Let's check the firmware. So I'm going to turn the battery breaker on, and then I'm going to turn the battery on, and then that should have a pre-start circuit that will slowly send power into the units to charge the capacitors. I think I can just turn the power on. Check the firmware from the screen, I believe. There's got to be a setting in here showing the firmware. Okay, I should have looked here first, but I was able to see the firmware from the app. So before I could see the firmware, I needed to first set up the dongle on the new 6000 XP. So I logged out of the app, and then you can click dongle connect. And then I was able to set up the Wi-Fi on the dongle. And then once I did that, I could log in and see the firmware. So I have the firmware updated here. Yeah, I could update the firmware from the app here. So if you log out, you can download the firmware, the bottom button there, and you can download the firmware for each dongle and each inverter. So now we're ready to go. So I have another video on setting up the Wi-Fi dongle. It's kind of tricky, but I hate changing the settings from the inverter. The interface isn't good, so I like changing all the settings from the app. Okay, time for the next steps. Ensure the load breakers are off. Okay, power on the inverters. I've just done that, just barely. Navigate to setting 21 and set it to pH 1. Okay, 1 pH. Okay. The LCD will then switch to a secondary setting. Set the inverter to P1. Okay. Enable battery sharing. There we go. That's the third. Repeat this step for all inverters. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's turn it on. So I need to power on the whole system using the startup sequence. I turned on everything following section 13. Everything's on. Let's make sure the communication's working. Yeah, battery's at 19% and 19%, so it looks like the communication's working. Okay, I have all my breakers disconnected, off, except for my backfeeding breaker. Okay, before connecting loads to the output terminal, check to ensure there is no voltage present. There should be voltage present because section 13 says turn everything on, so this step 4 kind of conflicts with that. I believe I do have voltage. Let me check it. Okay, add some small loads to the output to verify power output. Garage. There we go. Woo! Power. So that's working. From a full system restart to finish the commissioning. Okay, and now I need to determine which is the host and the slave. So I start the host first, and then the host should say H right here, and the slave should have an S. So here's my host, so that's good. And then there's the slave for the S. Okay, congratulations if you made it this far. Please tell your favorite dad joke in the comments. I want to hear him. So obviously this will not pass inspection, especially the solar portion here, because high voltage DC solar needs to be in metal as far as code goes. But I'm going to test this out real quick, and then I'm going to be putting in a different inverter here. But if I was going to keep this system in place permanently with only one battery, what I do is I have a long chase here, a wire chase. I'd get rid of this thing, and then you can have everything enclosed in metal here. If I had 2 batteries, I have a battery under here, and then I can have 2 of these boxes. I can have a metal conduit here in between the 2 units, so everything would be encased in metal. Okay, I've got all my breakers turned on. All of my house is being powered by both these inverters. Drum roll, let's go and turn on the air conditioner, see if the lights dim. I kind of think they're still gonna dim, personally. Okay, here we go. These are the lights that usually dim. Those are LED lights. So, let's turn it on. Here we go. Oh, did you see that dim, hun? Still dimming. That was a little less than normal, wasn't it? A little less than normal. I kind of like not having the soft start because I can test these different inverters. So I'm going to test a few different other ones. The next one is supposed to have a really good surge capability. We'll try it out. So as a reward for watching to the end, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to give you guys some equipment I've got hanging around the shop here. I'd much rather give it away to you guys rather than just having it collecting dust on the shelves here. So as you know, guys, I do have affiliate links in the descriptions of these videos. That's really how I make money on these videos. And anytime you guys use those links, helps support the channel, helps me make good content for you guys. Hopefully these videos are helping you. I like making them. But anyways, when I'm recommending a product and you guys click on my link and you go there and you buy that product, some companies are better at paying out than other companies. So I'm going to kind of test their affiliate links and their referral program here with this little giveaway I'm doing here. Okay, so anytime you guys use any of the links down below, or if you see a product and you call them up and you tell them, say, hey, Ray sent me to your channel, please give him credit. So if you do that, email me your order number and I will verify that it came through. If I see that it came through, I will shoot you back an email and saying, thanks a lot for the support. These are the items that I have available and giving away with your order. And I'm going to pay for the shipping, and I'm going to reward you guys and send you guys some of the extra stuff I have hanging around the shop here. Hopefully that makes sense. This was kind of a long video, but I know you guys are the most loyal followers. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I can give you guys some stuff. It is fall. Look at the garden. It's just about done for. And the beautiful solar array. Wow. I love this thing. Here's some videos that YouTube was recommending for you. Talk to you later.